Shabbat Shalom, family. Good to see everybody here. Hope you're all doing well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, everything that we're looking at is very biblical. It really, truly is. All the divisions that we're seeing in the country. And now you can understand why the Most High says everybody will eventually go back to their own group because, especially the things going on between us, the Shemites, and the Hamites, it is obvious that we should not be intermingling with these folks. I agree with the Most High when he divides us because, you know, mingling with a lot of these Gentiles is just going to lead to all kinds of problems for you as a Shemite. And I get it. It's eye opening, but I get it. And also, it's necessary to divide because there's not a Gentile group that we get along with. They all openly hate us. Openly. There's not one that has not done it. Even the ones that never met or came across us a day in their life, they hate us and they don't even know us. So, look, as we move through these last days, I am definitely down for the separation. I am. I think I'm down for it more than ever before in my life. I mean, look, I have left a lot of Gentiles alone many years ago. Many years ago. I think the last time I was interacting with Gentiles, it was 2007. And not long after that, I left the workforce. And ladies and gentlemen, it has been peaceful without dealing with them on a regular basis. Trust me, you'll know the difference, especially when you stop working. And you'll just be at peace because you don't have to see nor do you have to talk to them every day anymore. And man, yes, it is peaceful. It is peaceful. I might not have everything, but I do have my sanity. So, y'all, I am going to share my screen so that you can see all of the protests that's going on in DC. So this is another side of what's happening since Donald Trump did a takeover, a federal takeover of Washington, DC. Okay. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Oh yeah, we all still have to deal with them. Don't get me wrong, we all do. But I don't have to really deal with them on a daily basis, but when I'm out and about, yeah, you have to deal with them because they're everywhere. But when I'm in my own place of refuge, no, I don't have to deal with them at all. Don't have to see or talk to them. All right, y'all. Thank you.
Why are you here? You're trying to arrest innocent people? What's your purpose? What's your goal? What's the motive? Why won't you show your face? Like you look yourself in the mirror and think I did a good job today? Our streets! Get off our streets! Get off our streets! Get off our streets! Get off our streets! Turn left! Trying to get people to turn left to not go down 14th Street. There's
a random search right now. They've pulled over about 6 cars, seen 2 people get detained, one by ICE, one by the police, taken, no rhyme or reason.
Shame! Get off our streets! 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 Why are you here? You're trying to arrest innocent people? What's your purpose? What's your goal? What's the motive? Why won't you show your face? Like you look yourself in the mirror and think I did a good job today?
Go left! Go left! Go left! Turn left! These are not real police. They are kidnapping people. These are not real police. None of these are MPD. None of these are real police. These are Al-Qaeda Gravy SEALs with fake Timu costumes.
I don't like it. You know, it's necessary to try to reduce the crime, but I don't like it at all. It's really sending the wrong message. It's not American. It's not American. This is almost like some other kind of government that would do something like this.
Is that ICE? Oh, fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! We are out here in D.C. As you can see, these are MRAPs behind me. This is National Guard vehicles behind me right in front of the Union Station. I came out here earlier around 7 o'clock, and there was a lot more National Guard vehicles out here. So we got the National Guard right here, as you can see. We got more Guard troops there. We got 2 MRAPs over here and a very high police presence. But we also got what looks like some other federal agencies. Let's see, oh, DEA. I'm assuming the DEA got something better to fucking do with their time. More pigs right here. Looks like there's a pig Segway here. I spent the last 2 hours walking all around this side of D.C., all the way down and back. You can see I've been walking and sweating a lot. We ran into some pockets of police officers. Now, police up there, there's a bunch of police right there staged up. More police over here. Some more police right here. And there's a large crowd of people right here in Franklin Park. So let's go see what's going down. It might be a protest. We actually foiled an ICE raid. We were walking down one street and a convoy of ICE vehicles turned the corner. Is that ICE? Oh, fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Go home, pigs! Yeah, get that fucking megaphone. And we're driving up the street and we got on our megaphones and was screaming, ICE, ICE, get out now. Follow them. It's ICE! Leave! ICE is in the area!
Watch your 6. You got ICE kidnappers on the streets.
That's right.
ICE kidnappers on the streets.
Seek
Watch
safety!
your 6, people.
Seek safety!
On the streets.
Safety! ICE! And the convoy went up, stopped, and turned around and stared us down for a minute and then left. We got kidnappers present! Leave!
Right now, ICE kidnappers.
We got kidnappers present! Leave!
Cowards out here ready to steal your children. Watch the streets, baby. ICE out here.
We got ICE right here. ICE in the area! ICE! Let them know.
Watch your 6. ICE kidnappers on the streets right now.
Fuck ICE! Chinga la migra! I think we foiled their plan. If you're in D.C., stay safe, resist, resist, resist. Donald Trump is nothing but a bitch. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck ICE. If you work for ICE, either quit or history will remember you unkindly. If you want to see my walk around D.C. or my other live streams, follow me on my YouTube channel. All right. But if you're in the area, the National Guard is here, as you can see behind me, and increased police presence all through D.C. Stay safe out here. This fucking fascist is trying to intimidate us. We will not be intimidated, and D.C. will not go silently.
First of all, for everybody telling you there's no protest in D.C., that D.C. is just letting it happen, let this be proof that that's not true. Number two, this was a checkpoint that was set up by federal troops, a fucking checkpoint in America to harass citizens downtown DC, all because the president is trying to take DC over illegally. So number three, all these people gathered around the checkpoint and gave these motherfuckers hell. And guess what I found out? They left. They packed their little fucking checkpoint up and they fucking left. Let's be abundantly fucking clear. Setting up checkpoints to stop American citizens is nothing more than harassment and fascism. In this case, they have no other point besides looking for somebody to arrest. Understand, these motherfuckers want to arrest people so that KK Caroline can jump up in the morning press briefing and say 850 troops were deployed across the city and they arrested 23 people. What an immaculate waste of resources. What an immaculate violation of your Fourth Amendment rights. What an immaculate violation of the Constitution. What a fucking police state. I'm leaving New York now. I'm heading back to DC. Y'all keep it up because I'm coming to join you.
Get off our streets! Get off our streets! Get off our streets! Get off our streets!
There's a random search right now. They've pulled over about 6 cars. I've seen 2 people get detained, one by ICE, one by the police, taken, no rhyme or reason.
And I just want to tell people at this point that it's not been confirmed. Continue.
That's, yes.
Oh, you rental car. Don't lie to your kids about what you were doing tonight. Make sure they know. Dude, I can see your nose pulled up just a little bit. Yeah.
All streets! Not yours! Not yours! Keep licking those foods.
Go left! Go left! Hey! Hey, you!
The Trump administration's federal takeover of Washington, D.C. is escalating, with several people arrested at high-profile locations and homeless encampments torn down. Protests also erupted in the streets last night after the White House said federal agents would patrol around the clock, and the president himself hinted that his month-long crackdown could last even longer.
Get off our streets! Get off our streets!
Protesters took to the Northwest D.C. streets last night.
Why are you here? You're trying to arrest innocent people? What's your purpose? What's your goal?
Responding to this show of force, federal agents alongside city police, now under federal control, running a checkpoint at a busy intersection.
Turn left!
Some residents warned approaching cars to turn away. Police say they arrested 76 people in the district yesterday, outpacing last year's daily average of 56. And the DC police chief said today that information collected during these kinds of traffic stops could now be turned over to federal immigration authorities. It's all part of a federal crackdown in the nation's capital launched by President Trump, citing a crime emergency that the data doesn't fully support.
Crime is rampant in D.C. It's rampant in our generally blue-run cities, and they've got to do something about it.
Federalizing the D.C. police force carries a 30-day legal limit. The president said yesterday he may extend that. And this morning, blocks from the White House, another part of the president's plan went into action. Homeless encampments toppled, and the people who once sheltered there nowhere in sight. More visible in D.C., National Guard troops activated by the president as part of what he calls an anti-crime agenda. For more on the D.C. takeover, we're joined now by Juliette Kayyem, former Assistant Secretary at the Department of Homeland Security. She's now at the Harvard Kennedy School of Government. Juliette, welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I just want to ask you to react to some of those scenes we just showed. You have federal agents wearing Homeland Security gear, running a traffic stop with Metropolitan Police, National Guard troops patrolling high tourist areas like the National Mall. I mean, from your experience, is it clear what the intention and strategy is here?
So there's two different pieces of this. One is federal law enforcement agencies, FBI, ICE, HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, working with, in tandem, Washington, D.C. police. This is, it's unique. It is not clear what the federal agent's authority is. It is not clear whether they have, they can arrest for a petty crime, since that's not a federal crime. And I think there's a lot of confusion about what their authority is. Right now, we just see them walking around. The second is what we call presence patrols that is being done by the National Guard. Presence patrols are, we are here, we're an army or a unit that is making its presence known. It is not generally used in the military because there's really no task or purpose for it. There's no mission for it. It's just simply that we are present. And in both cases, the concern is because the mission isn't clear, ending crime, getting rid of poverty, all of those things are sort of nebulous in terms of what are the tactics that would justify federal involvement. It is not at all clear whether the mission will maintain or you're going to get mission creep over the next couple of days and weeks.
Juliette, when the president launched this effort, he talked about ramping up the use of force, right? He said that the DC police are now allowed to do, in his words, whatever the hell they want, promising forces would hit harder now. Does the presence of federal forces, federal agents, somehow allow for more force in these interactions?
It doesn't. I mean, and to be clear, there's nothing, there's no change in the laws of what engagement is. If someone spits at a police officer, they're not allowed to shoot them. That's not permissible. That is not an appropriate response. The president talks like this as a signal of authority, aggressiveness, and some would even say totalitarianism, or at least the usurpation of local control by the executive branch. Where I worry is, of course, with a undefined mission and unclear integration of these forces with now the National Guard, you will get mistakes. You will get people working and acting outside their authority. You will get responses to First Amendment activities, including lawful protests, that violates the First Amendment and undermines people's rights to free speech. You're allowed to criticize this activity. And let's just be honest here. This is a lot of people who are now not looking and not investigating fentanyl and domestic violence and terrorism.
Juliette, the president has said he wants to extend this authority in D.C., possibly even to other cities. What are the implications of that?
Well, there's going to be the legal implications. D.C. is unique. It has a home rule aspect to it. What would be the legal authority for the president to do that? There's also the political issue, of course. Is this an attack on democratically run cities, blue cities in blue states? And is that the appropriate use of the military or federal law enforcement? But I want to take a step back and say my concern is this working? We have decades of research about what works in this arena, especially in terms of policing. It's community policing, it's outreach to communities, it's engaging people and neighborhoods that might have crime to work with them to minimize crime. This is exactly what DC has done. A federal military or federal law enforcement overlay seems many steps away from that.
Julia Kayyem of Harvard's Kennedy School of Government joining us again tonight. Julia, thank you. Good to speak with you.
Thank you.
Stay away from homeless people, you fascist punks! Stay away from homeless people, you fascist punks! Stay away from homeless people, you fascist punks! Get out! 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 Out!
This was the scene 2 months ago to the day, June 14th, at what may have been the largest mass protest in American history. Millions of Americans turned out at No Kings rallies across the country, from big blue cities to small, deep red towns, all of them united with a shared message for the president. We won't bend the knee. Despite the turnout, Donald Trump has only expanded his executive powers and flexed with this federal takeover of Washington, D.C. this week. But the Americans who oppose him aren't letting up either. Ezra Levin is the co-founder and co-executive director of Indivisible, which helped organize the No Kings Day protests, and is now holding another national day of action this Saturday called Fight the Trump Takeover in 250 locations across the country. He joins me now. So, Ezra, good to see you. As we get closer to Saturday's protests, what are some of your expectations? What are you preparing for, and what do you want people to take from it?
Look, my expectation is that courage is contagious, and we've seen a lot of courage out there. The Texas reps who left Texas, broke quorum, and defied both Donald Trump and the ruling GOP party in the state to stop the gerrymander in the state, that took guts. That was courage. And the question is, how do you make that contagious? It can't all be on the Texas reps. We've got to do our part. Saturday is the part where we make it contagious. Saturday is the part where we show up and show the Texas reps they're not alone. They're not alone in this fight against Trump. So if folks are on the sidelines looking at what Trump is doing in Texas, what he's doing in D.C., what he's done to L.A., what he's threatening to do to Missouri and Indiana and Florida, and they're asking, gosh, what can I do? Here's something you can do. You can show the Texas reps who are on the front lines they're not alone. You can show Donald Trump that he doesn't have all the cards, and you can show up and push your own state legislators, especially you all in blue states like a California and Illinois, a Washington and New Mexico. Show them that you want them to fight back. That's what you can do right now.
Are you prepared for the potential attendance, the size, the energy and anger that may be there? I was at the No Kings Day covering it here in the city on the ground in New York. It was pouring rain all day. And still, I mean, I remember that morning thinking, might not be a lot of people to talk to here. And then it smashed expectations. I mean, more than 1 million. You probably know the number better than I do at this point. Do you think that's what we're going to see here? Again, a potential record-breaking moment?
Well, look, there were actually 5 or 6 million people who showed up on No Kings Day in 2,269 communities. But who's counting anyway, Antonia? What I would say is this.
Sounds like you are.
In the fight against authoritarianism, not every single protest, not every single action needs to match the scale or the breadth of the one before it. That's not how you build a successful opposition to authoritarianism. What we've learned from overseas fights against autocratic rule, historical fights against autocratic rule in the South and elsewhere, is that you got to keep on building. It is a muscle, and you got to keep on working it. So this Saturday's events, they didn't come together in the span of weeks or months. They came together in the span of days and hours in some cases. So I expect to see events in blue states and purple states and red states. I expect to see a lot of folks who weren't involved before showing up on Saturday. I expect to take this momentum forward because Saturday is one day of protest. And then we build from that towards what will be the next big No Kings protest, which we'll get together sometime afterwards.
So there's one city that does not have a protest planned, and this was the case the last time around too, Washington, D.C., the city that the entire nation is watching right now, in many cases horrified by the scenes. Federal agents fanned out. Many cases, particularly in communities of color, people feel that they're under a microscope, that they're at immense risk. Why no protests there?
Well, look, the sad fact is that Washington, D.C. is under siege, that this regime is occupying the city, and the D.C. has not had representation in Congress. There's nothing to gerrymander in D.C. because it's been denied representation in the U.S. Congress since its existence. There are not voting members whose votes counts. They do not get senators, despite being larger than other states that do have representation. This fight against the power grab that we're seeing from Trump in Texas and possibly in Indiana, Missouri, Florida, elsewhere, it's playing out all across the country. And I hope people who are watching this recognize that it doesn't matter if you're in the deepest red state, if you're in a rural community, if you're in a deep blue state, there is a role for you. The folks in DC are organizing with groups like Free DC to push back against this occupying force. But we've all got a part to play. It's not up to each of us to do everything, but it's up to all of us to do something. And if we play our role, look, the house of cards he's built up, it's going to fall over, because ultimately this is a weak, lame duck, unpopular president who is not operating from a place of strength. He's operating from a place of weakness and fear, because he knows his time is up. He knows his popularity is on the way down, and he fears peaceful, organized people around the country working together to push back. But that's what we're going to do, and that's how we're going to win.
I don't know if you've been able to see there on screen with you at times. We've been able to show some of what's unfolded, just videos that DC residents, citizens have taken themselves. What is it like for you to see some of this? You know, I've seen some of the comments on social media, people saying, well, at least police officers have been polite. You know, they've explained that they're here on Trump's orders. But when you've watched a lot of this, what do you take from it?
I have chills, Antonia. I have chills. This is not something I would expect to see in an American city, in the U.S. Capitol. It's not something I would expect to see from our federal government. And unfortunately, I think this is only going to get worse from here on out. We have heard from the Republicans that L.A. was a rehearsal, that D.C. is a rehearsal. And the reason why they haven't been militarizing other American cities is because they hadn't had the money. But they just gave themselves $171 billion for their secret police force, ICE and other agencies. And I expect to see much more of what we're seeing in DC in states all around the country, which is why it is so important to not wait until they are at your door to start organizing. People who are watching this and aghast and are shocked and get chills like I do, you should be reaching out to your community, finding other people who think as you do, and organizing. Now is the time.
So there you go. Look, all I got to say is, y'all, between this government and the people.
Looks like right here they're arresting a homeless man. What's going on right here?
This man is being arrested.
For what he do? What he do?
We're hearing that he was distributing narcotics.
Okay, so they're getting a deal off the street.
I don't want to characterize it. I don't know.
All right, they're arresting this guy right here. They say that guy just said he was arrested for narcotics, so he's either a homeless man or a drug dealer here on the street. There you have in the bag whatever he was selling. They put it in the bag, so he was indeed selling drugs. Right now we have the FBI, the police, Secret Service. We got about 8 agents out here right now, and there is the bag right there with all the money and the drugs that he was selling on the streets.
After he had been arrested, a protester showed up and went absolutely crazy on law enforcement.
Coward! 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 Cowards! Stay away from homeless people! You fascist
just arrested a drug dealer off the streets of Washington, D.C. Wow, you got a loud voice. Wow, she just came right in here. This lady is an angry woman.
Stay away from homeless people, you fascist fuck! Get out! Get the fuck out, bitches! Get out! Get out! You motherfuckers! Get the fuck out! Out! Out!
Do you realize that they did arrest a drug dealer?
Oh my God.
She crazy with that with that megaphone, man. But anyway, y'all, this just goes to show you the divisions are going to get worse. And there's a lot of people that think Donald Trump ain't even going to make his 4 years. And the bottom line is, with all this stuff, y'all, I ain't a political person, but the Republicans ain't going to get back in. You occupying cities, this is like a step too far for a lot of people. And the midterms are coming up in 2026, and I think the Republicans are going to get their clock cleaned. I really do. So this is what's going on, and most of the people they're getting, I know that last guy was a drug dealer, but most of the people that they're rounding up, y'all, those are people just at their homes. They're not bothering anybody. They're just sitting outside, or they're just out and about, and they're just grabbing them up. So look, just be careful if you are living in DC, or you just happen to work there, because I know some people don't live in DC, but they work in DC. Just be careful, because these agencies and the police are out there 24/7, and that's the way Donald Trump wants it. And again, remember, this is all going on when crime is down in DC. And Donald Trump literally stood in front of the public and lied about how bad it was in DC. He lied to everybody. So just be careful out there. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So y'all, just stay safe and be aware of your surroundings. And this is supposed to go to other cities, and I think that's going to happen within weeks, not months. And I think it may even happen before the 30 days are up in DC. So it's going to be many protests coming. This ain't the only one. It's going to be a lot as Donald Trump hit other locations with these agencies and police grabbing folks up. And unfortunately, they're all going to be in the areas that we live in. That's where they're going to really be heavily concentrated. It is. See, Donald Trump couldn't do this in his first term because the generals that were there at the time would not allow him to use the National Guard against citizens. And he couldn't pull it off. He wanted to do this during George Floyd, but the generals at the time shut him down. See, a lot of people think, he let all these generals go. No, those were the same generals that were there during George Floyd. He did a clean sweep of them. And now you see why. Because Donald Trump wants to do whatever the hell he wants. Now you got Pete Headset, useless drunk ass up in there. He ain't gonna say nothing about what Trump does or what he does with the National Guard or any of these federal aid. They're not gonna say nothing. So now this time around in his second term, he can pull this stuff off. So yes, he can go city to city, occupying each city as he sees fit. you know? So y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. The Bible study will be at 2:45 today. So those of you that will be there, I'll see you then. And those of you, because I realize everybody don't do Sabbath like many of us do. And, y'all have a wonderful day. Shabbat Shalom, family.